Alright, today I'm going to be running you through how to write a grime track step by step. Alright, you can follow along if you like. I'm going to try and do it as quick as I can for the sake of the video length, but without taking away from the information. So let's quickly get into this. Let's get started. Right, so you're going to need your notepad or your phone, whatever you like writing on. I say get two notepads because the first one we're going to do some mind mapping, get ideas going. Right, pick your topic. I'm going to pick grime. I'm going to write a track about grime. Right, you don't have to fully write your track around this topic, just something to get your ideas flowing. Right, and from there branch out some stuff. So I'm going to first branch out gets me pumped. Right, what else? Snares and kicks maybe. Right, maybe rare sound, yeah, rare genre. Right. Then MC. Whatever comes to mind, just write it down, quickly branch it off. Clashes and rap battles. Yes. Right, what else? Fast. And then from there, once you got a basic foundation, you can start branching more stuff off. So if one gets me pumped, I'll go to something like adrenaline, maybe, and then from adrenaline, I'll go to fighting, maybe running. Rare sound, I'll go to awesome genre, fast, speed, anything, right? MC, mic, and 16 bar maybe. Clashes and rap battles. Schooling MCs. And yeah, for me, I've got enough to get off, to get some creativity from, and to write the actual verse itself. If you need more, take as long as you like. Just branch out as many ideas as you can think of. Now, I'd suggest write to a beat. Before you write your 16, put a beat on, right? Because it helps. It actually gets your creativity going. I don't always write to a beat, so you don't always have to, but it does definitely help. So I'd suggest put a beat on, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my beat on in the background, right? And when you're writing your verse, I'd say write each bar to 9 to 12 syllables, because that helps it fit within the 4 count even better, and flow to your beat way better, right? So keep each bar roughly 9 to 12 syllables long, no longer than that. So if I'm writing about grime, I'd say my first line might be something like, man, I love grime, it gets me pumping. Let's put right, yeah, let's put that as the first line. And that's not very long. You can see you want to keep your bars relatively short, right? That one line there is 1 bar. You want to keep it relatively short so that it flows better to your beat, right? About 9 to 12 syllables, right? And then what I like to do when I write my bars is branch off from that line, right? Either with something that rhymes with that line or something related. So if it gets me pumping, I could put something like spit some bars, have a next, spit some bars, have a next G jumping. And with my rhyme scheme, I'm just going for a basic multi-syllable rhyme at the end, like me pumping, G jumping, you know, stuff like that. And once you got 2 lines written like that, you've got more material to branch off from. So I'm gonna say something like, it's got my adrenaline running, from my mind mapping, of course. It's got my adrenaline running. Now what did I associate with adrenaline? Fighting. So I'll say something like, it's got my adrenaline running, but I won't threaten and cut him. Alright. So let me write that down. I quite like that. Now that's 4 bars. So far I've got something like man, I love grime, it gets me pumping. Spit some bars of an XG jumping. It's got my adrenaline running, but won't threaten and cut him. You know, something like that. And that I can work off, I can branch off that. So more branching off of this line here, I'm gonna say something like, but if a man don't like it, I might ignite pricks. You know, something like that. And then just keep branching off from there. And throw man straight in the dungeon of pain. Alright. And then when you get stuck, it's always good to go back to your mind mapping and look at the ideas you got. So I've got dungeon of pain there. What stands out to me in this mind mapping is gets me pumped. So something that rhymes with dungeon of pain, something like pump in your veins. So I could write something like, you can feel that pump in your veins. You can feel that pump in your veins. And then I've got snares and kicks, right? So you might think what you're writing down in your mind mapping is irrelevant, but when you actually get down to writing, you see how useful actually all is, right? So I got snares and kicks, so you can feel that pump in your veins when you hear that snare and you hear that kick, yeah. Wait. When you hear that snare and you hear that kick. I also put in my mind mapping rare sound, so I could say something like, fam, it's rare and I don't give a shit, or something like that. Fam, it's rare and I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about what? Something like, let's say, about your pop and about your indie. You see, I'm just branching off the last line with each bar, and also using all the mind mapping ideas from before, right? And that's keeping the verse going, right? And now another trick when you get stuck on a line, just purely think of something that rhymes, right? So what rhymes with pop? Top. What rhymes with indie? Spin me, something like that. So I doubt you top. I doubt you'll top. And I doubt you spin me. So what have I got? Man, I love grime, it gets me pumping. Spit some bars of an XG jumping. It's got my adrenaline running, but I won't threaten and cut him. If a man don't like it, I might ignite pitstone man straight in a dungeon of pain. You can feel that pump in your veins when you hear that snare and you hear that kick. Right, something like that, and it just keeps going. Right. I'm liking these so far. But yeah, let's keep it going. So why can't you top and why can't you spin me? Because on the mic, I'm like Shaolin Masters. Because on the mic I'm at Shaolin Masters. Alright. Jump on the track and I foul him faster. Yeah, it's always good to recap what you got, like spit it to yourself for a little bit as you're writing it, because then you can hear whether it makes sense to you or not and what you need to change. So it's always good to go over a little bit, just like, man, I love grime, it gets me pumping. Spit some bars of the next key jumping. It's got my adrenaline running, but won't threaten and cut him. But if a man don't like it, I might ignite. Pit storm man straight in the dungeon of pain. You can feel that pump in your veins when you hear that snake and you hear that kick. Fam, it's rate and I don't give a shit about your pop and about your indie. I doubt you top and I doubt you spin me. On the mic, I'm not Shaolin Masters. Jump on the track and I foul him faster. Then you can get a feel of how you're gonna flow with it and how you're gonna keep it going, right? So a couple bars just jumped into my head there as I was reciting that. So I've got, I'll rinse your dog. Don't think you're hard. When you hyping and shouting bastard. Right. So far I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So one more bar and that's it, I've completed the verse. Right? Now with this, you wanna, be a bit more lenient with yourself. You don't want to try and be too perfect. Oh no, I can't put that, I need the perfect rhyme. No, just put what you feel sounds good, right? Don't be too harsh on yourself. I'll leave you down and plastered. Yeah. So that's my first verse finished, right? Now, I'm not gonna go through the second verse here, right? Just basically use the same template that you used when writing the first verse, or the mind mapping stuff, the beat, and the branching off bar from bar to write your second verse. But what I'm gonna go through is the hook here, right? Gotta write yourself a nice little hook, right, before we move on to the second verse, right? And the hook, I'd say it's always useful to mind map for the hook alone, right? But if the first mind map for the first verse and for the whole track had some interesting ideas, you can basically just use those ideas for the hook. So I've got grime, right? And what do you like doing in grime? You like blasting it. So I could put something like, when I blast my grime, you can feel that force. Right. Now another thing with a hook that I suggest you do is that keep a little rhyme scheme along. So I've got force now. So the word I want to rhyme is force. So for force, we've got something like corpse and of course. Right. So I've got corpse and of course. What can I do that? When I blast my grime, you can feel that force. You can feel that force. I keep it on the ground like a corpse. Right, as you put that. I keep it on the ground like a corpse. Man's gotta keep it real, of course. Alright, so let's see what we've got though for the hook. Right, let me spit the whole thing in the hook. Let me rewind my instrumental and see what we've got here. Alright, see how it sounds before go on with this. Man, I love grime, it gets me pumping. Spit some bars of an XG jumping. It's got my adrenaline running, but I won't threaten and cut him. But if a man don't like it, I might ignite, pitch storm man straight in the dungeon of pain. You can feel that pump in your veins when you hear that snake and you hear that kick. Fam, it's rare and I don't give a shit about your pop and about your indie. I doubt you top and I doubt you spin me. On the mic, I'm not Shaolin Masters. Jump on the track and I foul him faster. Rinse your dog, don't think you're hard when you're hyping and shouting bastard. Leave you down and plastered. When I blast my grime, you can feel that force. Keep it on the ground like a corpse. Man's gotta keep it real, of course. Yeah, man's gotta keep it real, of course. When I blast my grime, you can feel that force. Keep it on the ground like a corpse. Man's gotta keep it real, of course. Yeah, man's gotta keep it real, of course. And yeah, that's how you write a verse and that's how you write a hook, right? Now, using that same thing, you can write 2 more verses for a track and just keep the hook the same, or you can just write 1 more verse and keep the hook the same, right? I hope that helped you, and if it did, make sure you share this video with anyone else you think it will help, and make sure you subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.